and they've stopped it. Round Jake Paul, El Gallo de Dorado.
First round stoppage for the problem child. Earlier, outstanding performance from Jake Paul.
That was a perfect setup, man. He had good movement with his legs.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Atlanta, Georgia, it's showtime! Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner tonight, seeking his third division world title. Wearing white trunks with yellow and silver trim, the young star of boxing from Baltimore and representing his adopted home of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in at 139 3/4 pounds with a sensational record of 24 wins, no losses. He has 23 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the popular and acclaimed three-time two-division world champion, the hard-hitting, current and undefeated WBA super featherweight and WBA lightweight champion of the world, introducing Gervonta Davis.
On Netflix, to those of you joining us right here in Texas. Are you ready to make history? Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, silver and chrome trunks. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 227.2 pounds. He holds a near perfect professional record of 10 victories, 1 defeat, with 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And he fought by way of Cleveland, Ohio, USA. He is the multi-talented superstar who bridged the gap between social media and professional boxing. Boxer, a content creator, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and a promoter, and the self-proclaimed of boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the problem child, Jake El Gallo Paul.
Y'all focus.
Make some noise for Tank Davis, everyone.
Hasn't always been easy.
That's all we do is
That's All We Do is Tab 2, Jake Paul KO. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Fight highlights. Jake Paul's nightmare came true in the most brutal way possible. Yes, I'm talking about a vicious KO that silenced the entire arena. In the shocking Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, the self-proclaimed king of YouTube boxing was humbled by a single soul-crushing punch that shattered his empire. It was a cold, violent reminder that fame can't protect you from a fighter born for destruction. Jake Paul's empire came crashing down the moment Gervonta Davis landed that left hand. 1 second, the crowd was on its feet, phones in the air, chanting Jake's name. The next, the entire arena went silent. Jake lay motionless, eyes glazed, while Davis stood in the center of the ring, expressionless, calm, almost surgical. The referee didn't even bother to count. It was over. One punch had just ended a $1 million fantasy. The Tank didn't just knock Jake Paul out, he knocked him off his throne.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
For months, Jake had built this fight like it was his masterpiece. He called it the new era of boxing, posting training clips, sparring highlights, and endless sound bites about legacy. His team filmed everything: the gym sessions, the jets, the robes.
Let me spell this out for you, okay? Size beats speed.
Size don't mean nothing if you can't hit it.
He told reporters Gervonta was too small, that his power was overrated. Every press conference turned into theater. Cameras flashed, fans screamed, and Jake smirked through it all like a man who believed his own hype. But boxing doesn't care about hype. The ring is the one place where clout can't save you. While Jake was rehearsing his victory speech, Gervonta was studying timing, angles, and pain.
He hails from Baltimore, Maryland. He is Gervonta Tank.
Gervonta Davis isn't just a fighter, he's a destroyer with purpose. A 3,001 record with 28 knockouts doesn't lie. He fights with intent. Every punch calculated, every step sharpened by survival. Born in Baltimore's roughest streets, Davis didn't fight for fame. He fought to escape. That's what separates him from internet-made boxers like Jake. Davis built his legacy with blood, not views.
It's a level 1 sustained assimilation protein.
I think it's going to be good. You know, he been in the gym and he been boxing for a little minute now. So
The fight was announced. The boxing world laughed at Jake's confidence. Gervonta was a 3-division world champion who had already dismantled men far better. Jose Padza, Isaac Cruz, Lau Santa Cruz, all victims. One uppercut from Davis had left Santa Cruz unconscious in midair. That was the kind of violence Jake was walking into, and he didn't even realize it.
What is Jake gonna do to Tank?
Jake's got the power, he's got the size.
But Tank got them hands. Tank don't even know what to do.
Fight week in Vegas was chaos. Netflix had turned the event into a global carnival. Billboards lit up Times Square. Hashtags exploded. Vegas became the circus capital of the world. Tickets vanished in minutes. Scalpers made fortunes. And even people who'd never watched boxing suddenly cared. This wasn't just a fight. It was a social event. A collision between power and fame.
Get back into that breakdown.
He will step into the ring with a record of 12-1. 7 of those wins have come by knockout. He's known as the problem child. He is Jake El Gallo de Dorado.
At the pressers, Jake was his usual self, loud, cocky, drenched in designer arrogance. Across from him sat Gervonta, unbothered, gum and mouth, eyes cold. Jake barked, but Tank didn't blink. At one point, he just said, "You're a YouTuber with gloves." The room erupted. Jake laughed it off, but his eyes twitched. He'd been hit without a punch being thrown. It was no longer about belts or rankings. It was about respect. Old school grit versus digital delusion. The undefeated warrior versus the influencer built by algorithms. Betting odds swung wildly. Jake's fans preached size and power. Purists just waited for reality to land, and then it did.
What if Tank Davis, who can punch, who's a hell of a fighter, what if he lands a punch on this bigger guy's chin, right? Who's not a professional fighter? What happens? What happens?
Fight night. The lights dimmed. The crowd roared, and Vegas turned into a pressure cooker. Jake walked out first. Fireworks, music, arrogance. Tank followed. Silent, focused. His eyes locked on destiny. The bell rang, and the air turned electric.
It's just wild to see after how that first round went.
Nice left hook
To
there.
the right hand. Do not slip to your left on the jab.
It's just a matter of time. He's getting broke down.
Whoa.
That's a good hook he lands. Oh!
Overhand right.
And Jake's
Round 1. Jake came out swinging fast and loud, trying to shock the world. His jabs were crisp, his feet quick. He landed a few good shots, enough to make his fans believe for a heartbeat. The crowd erupted as he raised his hands, smiling like a man who thought he'd cracked the code. Across from him, Gervonta just stared cold, motionless. The commentator said it best. Davis is downloading data, every move, every breath. When the bell ended the round, Jake strutted to his corner, grinning. Tank didn't even sit. He just nodded once, like a man who'd seen everything he needed. Round 2. The storm arrived.
You didn't see that, yeah.
Hey, break it down a little bit, Tank. Straight left, straight left.
Round 3. The end. Tank didn't dance, didn't waste time. He hunted. Jake swung wildly, desperate to prove he was still in it. But his punches were slow, sloppy, predictable. Tank slipped one overhand and detonated a left cross straight on the chin. The sound was sickening. Jake's body froze, then fell like a statue, out cold. The referee waved it off instantly. The crowd gasped, then exploded. Cameras flashed. Phones filmed history. Gervonta didn't celebrate. He just turned and walked away, calm as ever, like he'd clocked out after another routine demolition. Jake's team rushed in, panic in their eyes. He blinked, dazed, trying to understand what just happened. The man who sold confidence for clicks had just been silenced by power.
Dude, this is an interesting thing that'll happen in this fight. Jake has always said, when speaking about fights with Tank, Canelo, these smaller guys, that look what so-and-so who was your size did to you. This is what I'm going to do. But in that same respect, Jake hasn't knocked anybody out in a...
That night, Gervonta didn't just win. He restored order. In a sport polluted by clout, he reminded the world what real boxing looks like. And Jake Paul, he finally learned the one truth fame never teaches. Likes don't land punches.
Glove stuff, I don't know. So this is just, again, it's like when you start to look deeper into it, the less impressive it becomes if Jake actually goes in and beats him or like whatever. This is gonna give all the people that Jake tried to like change their minds with how he approached.
The celebrities joined the chaos. Logan Paul posted a single prayer emoji, no words needed. Mike Tyson called the knockout reality therapy. Even Conor McGregor tweeted, "At least he stepped up. But damn, that was nasty." The clip got more views than some Netflix shows. It was merciless. Viral humiliation at its finest. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis became the sport's new executioner. Headlines read, "The Tank just rolled over the algorithm." Photos of him walking away from Jake's body became instant icons. Every meme, every edit, turned him into a symbol. Discipline over delusion. Backstage, the contrast couldn't be sharper.
It's gonna look awful that you like knocked out the guy that looks like someone's little brother.
Jake sat in silence, bruised and broken, an ice pack pressed against his jaw. The cameras were gone. No vlog crew, no entourage, just him and the weight of everything he'd built collapsing in one night. He scrolled through his phone. Millions of notifications, but not one real call, just noise. And over that silence came the echoes of his own words from the press conferences. The trash talk, the arrogance, the promises. Now they sounded like ghosts haunting him. This was the hangover after the hype. The spotlight that once crowned him now exposed his cracks. Meanwhile, a few doors down, Gervonta sat in peace.
That's corny. That's super corny.
Analysts called it the night boxing woke up. The sport that had been drowning in gimmicks finally found clarity again. Davis's record now stood at 31-1 with 29 knockouts, and every one of them meant something.
Tank gonna beat him like he owes him money.
Scared money don't make no money.
Netflix's post-fight documentary shattered streaming records. The knockout became folklore, replayed, dissected, mythologized. People didn't just watch it, they studied it, like a piece of art in motion. A few days later, Jake finally broke his silence. His statement was short, honest, almost human. "I got humbled by the best. I'll be back." Maybe he will. But that night in Vegas, under blinding lights and endless noise, one truth stood tall. Greatness isn't always found in victory. Sometimes it's exposed in humiliation, because when the cameras cut off and the noise fades, fame disappears. But the silence, that's forever.